Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Into the Breach, where we haven't managed to get any of our achievements yet. This is the only one that I think we're really going to have to think about very hard. We're going to get this the first time we step into a new mission. Yeah, this will happen kind of accidentally while we're doing Archive Inc. In fact, let's go ahead and do Archive Inc. now, and we'll save RST for last. RST is going to be a little bit annoying, I guess, in terms of trying to get the achievements for having a lot of things on fire, because you end up producing so much smoke which smothers fires. But we should be able to lock everything up, I would think, by the end of Archive Inc. and just not have to just not have to worry about it anymore. Alright, well, we do not have a choice. We do have to do the fucking train mission. The train's fireproof at least, right? Yes, okay. The armor doesn't affect damage that comes from explosions, I don't think. Yeah, weapon damage. Okay, alright. It's bad news, y'all. That's very not good. Try to bait things into standing in front of the train, I guess? Interesting. Okay, well. Not what I was expecting them to do. Is there a reason to do anything other than... I wish the swap mech could get to here, because this is the perfect teleport for spaces thing. So let's see. I can... It's actually kind of tricky to set the meteor mech up in a place where it's going to be able to do very much here. Alright, I probably want to do some of this, right? Just start a bunch of fires, do a bunch of damage. And then honestly, I think I do just like swap this thing to here. Oh wait, what am I thinking? This gets me hit by a train. Why would I do that? But yeah, I do like, obviously, it would be really cool if we could get the gastropod hit by that train. I don't think I can though, or hit by the moth attack. We can do this thing, which is fun. And then... Actually, there isn't like a simple answer to that, is there? I mean, there was before I recreated the exact the exact conditions from before I reset. I was like, those other two moves are fine. Ugh. Not a good start to the episode. So it's like let Adam die or lose the mission, and I guess or lose the stars. And I guess it's lose the stars. To be fair, it's only losing 1 star, and then the thing gets killed by the train. So is there anything of value to do with the other... Yeah, I guess we could block a spawn. Yeah. Shields are, in fact, for cowards. The train doesn't move forward anymore once it's damaged, does it? Okay. Well, as you might imagine, I'm super annoyed with myself. Alright, so that's an easy kill. That's an easy kill. And then we just do a max distance teleport on this thing to get the achievement. Those two burn to death immediately. That's cool. We don't need perfect islands or rewards or a good economy. Who would even use these things? Who among us? You know, didn't really think that one through. Because again, I'm just plain not thinking. This guy can't be pushed in this direction safely. It kills the pod. I'm just taking a second to sort of apologize to myself internally. Okay. So I guess we're just going to take 2 damage. Yeah, I'm not going to sacrifice a pilot for it, and I'm not going to sacrifice a pod for it. That's fine. It's bad, but it's fine. We can't kill anything beyond what we're already going to kill. I could kill this thing instead. I guess that would be a good thing to do, except that I'll kill the pod by doing it. Whatever, fuck it. So it's been a long day. And things are only getting better. Alright, what do we want to do with the reactor? Do we want to build toward more range on this thing? Do we want to build toward the +2 damage on this thing? I think it's probably this. We'll just turn on fire and forget for right now. Well, the value of fire and forget on this mech is like basically 0 though, right? Maybe let's pick up more movement, I guess. More health so that we can use it to effectively block is also, I think, sensible. Kill 6 or fewer enemies really sucks. Obviously, I want that reactor, but I don't think I want it. Whatever. We're not going to get it. It's fine. I want the reactor more than I care about the stars. Especially since we're already missing so many stars. Guess try to lure the fireflies into shooting up these aisles that have no buildings on them. There we go. Weird positioning. So look at that. I can already make use of my wait, did I not put that reactor into HP? No, I put it into move. I would have been able to use the HP. Well, obviously we can. Never mind. I was going to say we can just push this guy to the side. We would have to use this thing to do that. Alright, so that solves that problem. And then I could just pull you forward. But actually, the better play is definitely to do this, right? And then we just want to set something on fire. I don't think it matters terribly. Yeah, this will do a little bit of bonus damage to that guy too. It's a pretty productive turn. block stuff, and I guess we'll do this. Is that a good idea? Like, how many enemies am I... If I set this space on fire, we're already looking at 4 more enemies who are gonna sort of like slowly burn to death. It's fine. 4 we can take. So we let this one spawn and then we block from here. I think we might be able to take this to 5 dead enemies and leave it there. Actually. Oh, right, except it's going to give me 1 billion spawns. Well... Right, and then we just get out of the way. This thing's dead already. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm just going to shoot a fire here because we might actually get to 12. It's not impossible. Alright, so all we have to do is... Yeah, we're even allowed to kill 1 more enemy if we want. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, right, you don't have the shit. So if I teleport a burning enemy onto a space that has a forest on it, the forest will catch fire. But in order for that to be a viable way to gain a fire tile here, something would have to already be on fire. Well, okay, I can create that situation while gaining a fire, though. Right? So we do that. Then we burn these. Oh, I have to do a reset here for this to work. The plan's fine, but Adam needs a shield. Right, is that not 12? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh, it triggers at the end of the battle. Okay. It makes me feel a little bit better. A little tiny bit better. Okay, the repair platforms mission. That doesn't seem like it'll be too bad. Weird that there's ice here. Solvable. You know, obviously we can do some work with that. Now, obviously, what I want to do a bunch of is teleporting the enemies into the water. Please stop using my healing panels. That's very annoying. Okay, so... That's a really large number of attacks that we have to find a way to disengage. This shot kills the Nautilus, saving that building. We can just straight swap you. Nope, never mind. That doesn't work. He survives and then he destroys that building if I do that. I mean, it's easy enough to just teleport them away. Are you going to be able to do anything, though? No, you totally aren't. So we're looking at losing this no matter what. Hold on. Okay, we go like this and teleport you. No, this one, damn it. This one attacks after it would get pulled, so it would get pulled to this space and then still hit this building. This is a problem right here. We can just teleport this thing into the ocean, I suppose. I think the big problem here is that there's actually no version of this where Archimedes can help. He literally can't affect any of the enemies who are doing damage to buildings. That's pretty problematic. That's a big issue. Let's see if I teleported. No, there's not even a way to make room for him to affect anything. He just can't affect anything. Alright, so I guess we're taking some building damage. I can do this. That's fun. And if this building's going down anyway, then I guess we do just, you know. Alright, and then... as things stand right now, if I teleport one of these into the water, it'll explode and destroy a building. If I teleport like this guy into the water, he'll explode and destroy a building. And that's very annoying. I could do this, though. Explode and damage the scion. Well, it's certainly a lot easier to deal with them in these positions. Unfortunately, we have so few ways of dealing immediate damage to something. I can't actually kill this scion. And I would really like to kill it right now before we let the enemy turn sequence happen, but I don't know that we can. So I could swap you to here, have you block a spawn. We can move this thing around, but... Alright, if I do this, will that actually apply the fire? It should, right? Because he's a flying enemy. Yeah, okay. Alright. Then we shoot this to here. Pushing that guy into a spawn block. We do another spawn block this way. This thing dies at the beginning of the enemy turn before these two deal damage to each other. Yeah, everything's cool there. I gotta touch a couple more of these repair platforms. And we want some number of these enemies to spawn, but probably not 4 of them. It's a real bummer that that guy moves first. I guess just set him on fire. Solves that problem well enough. And then, like... you can block one of those for us? And you could just start some fires. Doesn't really seem like there's much of a reason to, though. Alright, so some relatively low HP enemies. Oh, that's annoying that healed his fire, but I guess I can just push him into the ocean. And in fact... okay. Well, there we go. We're good. So you can just, yeah, tank the hit where you're standing and then let this thing get killed, and we're good. I definitely feel like I'm playing really badly and sloppily, but we're surviving. I mean, this seems doable. Yeah. I feel like we can pull this off. So... there's nothing I can do to make them less likely to stand here and attack that, but, like, also we don't care if they do it. Okay, I guess I'm going to start like this. Try to encourage one of them to step here as well, the starfish. This is a really dense minefield. Well, okay then. And I guess we'll just do a little bit of this. Maybe I should let all these enemies spawn, actually. I'm just thinking ahead about, like, trying to get to 5 enemies on fire simultaneously. Yeah, I'll position myself a little bit more centrally, and then we'll see. They are determined not to let me have this. Why? Why would you even move to that tile? What would be the benefit of that? All right. So... gonna try to create a situation here where we just have a lot of enemies on fire. Okay, so 3 on fire. Is it at the end of a turn, or is it just... okay, it's just simultaneously at all. So we're going to have one more come up on fire, and then we just have to get these other 2 set up, and I don't think we're putting ourselves in a position that we won't be able to manage or anything. Please just step into the fire on your own. It'll make things so much easier. No such luck. Okay. Well, as ever, order of enemy operations here is pretty bad for us. So if we do that... I think I'm going to go ahead and accept a point of building damage here in exchange for getting this achievement cleared. So I'm going to fire this here so that dude catches on fire. He'll still do 1 building damage. The moth doesn't get to do its thing because obviously I'm just going to kill it. No, let's kill the moth right now. I want the big chunk of XP on the predictable target. Okay. I hope that turns out to be, you know, not a huge mistake. Seems like it should be fine. If I just swap you... Obviously, I could just get out of the way. Yeah, it feels like I should just get out of the way. Kill you. Step over here. You can repair yourself, I guess. Not super thoughtful, these Vec. They're almost as bad at the game as I am. Okay, +1 reactor is pretty fun. So, pull these and add range. Just more fire per fire. I don't know, is that better? I'm gonna say yes. All right, let's go do it. So we did finish all of the achievements then. Yeah, okay. All I have to focus on is trying to win now. And I've definitely, you know, put myself in a position where maybe that's going to be harder to do than I would have liked. Yeah, there was no way the centipede leader wasn't going to fire one of these 2 buildings, so I didn't even waste time trying to, like, bait it somewhere. How do I want to deal with this? So what I'm thinking is... Oh no, the swap mech doesn't have enough movement. I was gonna just swap the... Here, we're just gonna reset the turn and go ahead and do it. He needs his extra move this turn. Yeah, so swap mech popping the boss to here causes the boss to hit all 3 of these, killing those 2 instantly, and then we might just kill this one in a different way. We'll see. But I need this space to be open for this to work. All right, so we get our bonus move, just put you exactly where we want you, and then, like... I think I just push you out of the way, because otherwise you're going to destroy these buildings. And I have pretty strong feelings about that not occurring. Also, this way you hit the boss, which is fun. Feels like a pretty encouraging start, right? The teleport mech is so powerful. Okay, so we can trivially just kill the alpha starfish with our flame mech. And I guess I may as well start as big a fire as possible. How am I going to deal with you? I guess it is the case that either one of these two can trivially kill him. So how do we solve our other problems? This thing has too much health to just kill it with a firefly shot. To come up with something a little bit better. Both the firefly and this thing firing in that direction is kind of tricky, though. And there are buildings in every column. Yeah, there just kind of isn't a way to deal with this. Well, I could use Adam to just block this shot. Doesn't feel very strong, obviously. And then what am I going to do about you? We can move this thing? No, never mind. I was going to say we could move it up by shooting behind it with the artillery mech, and then swap the centipede leader in behind it, and like none of that works. It's actually legitimately really difficult. Yeah, and with the flame mech still being the only one that can deal direct damage, and not being able to, like, even if our positioning was different, though, we can't deal direct damage to any of these enemies. So I think the answer here is we are just taking a very large amount of building damage, completely unavoidably. So I can swap, like I could swap the centipede leader to here. But I wouldn't be able to then get the swap mech in front of the Alpha Firefly in any way. And I can't. Well, I guess I'm already not getting a perfect island. Maybe we just accept 1 damage on the corporate tower. Yeah, alright. Well. Hold on. If I... No, the centipede leader will still be doing 4 building damage. The centipede leader is a big problem. And the thing is, I kind of can't just push it off to the side. We have to deal a ton of damage to it. It has 5 HP left. But I can't really get anything done by... Yeah, there's no way to kill it by swapping it anywhere. We could... Okay. I could swap the Firefly leader to here. Or the starfish, rather. Swap the starfish to here. No, that's not going to work. Swap the Firefly leader to here. Run the meteor mech down to here to push this thing into this location so it blocks the Firefly or the centipede shot. And then... Nope, doesn't work. We just don't have a solution to so many different problems. the Firefly shoot... Okay, the Firefly shoots after the Nautilus. Can I make use of that somehow? No, because I can't drag the Firefly to a location where there aren't buildings, because there are buildings in every single column. Yeah, it's just kind of already in the space where it will deal the least damage. And it goes last, so we can't use it to disable anything else. Yeah, alright. Corporate tower, the loss of the corporate tower, I think, is the most acceptable hit here. So I think I do, in fact, do this. I guess I should have set more tiles on fire instead of taking the push. Push doesn't really help. I would rather take a hit on the corporate tower than lose these two buildings, I think. I just do this for some extra damage. We do have a lot of damage we need to cause. Show me that 4%. No big surprise. Yeah, this building setup was truly horrible for this set of enemies. Only 3 points of movement is so harsh. Okay, how would I deal with this centipede? I don't know if I can. Yeah, we needed it to be on fire way earlier. I'm looking at this and trying to figure out how I will kill this thing even in 2 turns. The fact that all of the enemies are in the same line, or all of the good enemies are in the same line, means that we can't reasonably like push them in front of each other. Teleporting them around doesn't really accomplish very much. We can use the teleporter to block one of them by putting them here, but then the others... Yeah, and the centipede only does 3 damage, so I can't even put the centipede in position to kill anything, because it's going to leave everything narrowly alive. Right, like a version of this where we fire here, and then swap the centipede down to there with the teleport mech, still doesn't kill this thing. All right. Wait, had I moved this already? I mean, the thing I was about to do was set us up to take 2 building damage Apparently, this had already been moved when I did that, so I was kind of thinking about resetting the run. That me locking in that move there means I'm definitely resetting the run. But yeah, we were going to take two more, we were going to take 2 more building damage here, and we were going to be unable to destroy the centipede leader, and I think I think we're in a pretty bad tailspin. Even if we manage to narrowly survive this battle, we're going to end the island with 4 stars? No perfect island bonus. That's fully the wrong button. We need to just go ahead and start over, I think. We're going to be too weak to do either the 3rd island or the hive. So let's just... We're going to have to continue. We don't want to just hit new game, because if we hit abandoned timeline, we get to carry a pilot. And I am wondering, is it Adam or... It's probably Adam. The Archimedes is cool, but Finisher is pretty weak. Yeah, we'll just bring this Adam, and we'll try that again. I opened with some real garbage play today. That's fixable. Sorry, you're not supposed to be in this spec. Okay, so... Ooh, shake it off. Come at this fresh. 232 with the bonus health scion is actually not that bad, as long as we make sure we kill the bonus health scion pretty early. This is a nightmare. All those enemies have 3 health, and also spiders. These are low health enemies. Heal completely offsets the fire damage, but at least the heal happens after the fire damage, so you can still get stuff if you manage to take it down a little bit. And that's horrible. These are really bad. I think we're going to try Archive Inc. We just have to make sure that we keep control of the... Let's start with Antiquity route. We just got to make sure we keep control of the scions. All right. So that is a little awkward. Trying not to put a thing here and incentivize the Hornet to do that. I know that it's blocked right now, but it might not be by the time the Hornet's turn comes up, and we do not, at this stage of the battle, get to know what their ordering is. So let's start like this. Okay, that's pretty cool. First extra reactor right away. Well, it definitely feels like I want to shoot here, right? And then we're going to move the flame mech somewhere, have the swap mechs just swap this thing over the building so it gets shot in the face, which is funny. And I don't know what you do. I guess maybe I don't do that, because maybe what we do is we block this thing and just push it backwards onto the spawn. I guess I still swapped the Hornet that way because there's no... Maybe, hold on. Maybe not. What if... You have 2 HP, right? Yeah. Alright. Let's do this. I'll just tank a shot. We can have this thing correct the Hornet. No, we can't. Never mind. Yeah, this ends up being right. But if we do it this way, we get a point of bonus damage on the Hornet and also our own mech. And I'm no longer blocking the spawn. But I wouldn't have been blocking the spawn if I had reordered that, because he would have dealt bonus damage on the push. Or actually, no, I guess the thing would have been here with 1 HP left. Still playing badly. Woo! Okay, so I can just let this slide, which we may want to do. You can solve this problem. Right, yeah, we're just going to let that go down. And then Scion's dead. I can only teleport these things 2 squares. I guess I can just swap the Hornet so that it gets shot by the Scarab. That seems fine. And this rocket launch is going to be wonderful. Alright, and that has actually killed the Alpha Hornet as well, because now it only has 1 HP left and it's on fire. Yeah, I guess I do this so that the XP for the Hornet goes entirely to this mech instead of getting spread out. Then there's not really any place useful to teleport this thing. I guess I can do this push, start it on fire, and then just use the swap mech to move it to someplace innocuous so it doesn't kill the flame mech. And then that way this thing is also dead before it actually does any damage to anything. How to best solve. So you're firing over 2 tiles. So well, I don't want to, sorry, I do not want to do a swap to the other side of the rocket. That's very bad, actually. It's very easy to just push you in the ocean, but I kind of think, like, we're in a spot here where the flame mech once again can't do anything. Oh, I just realized this is going to get blown up by that rocket. And there's nothing I can do about it. That's not true. Here's what this guy can do. He can push Adam, so Adam picks the thing up and then gets to move out of the tile. So I think we are taking 1 building damage here, because I didn't really think this through all the way. It almost certainly is correct to just push this thing into the water, right? Yeah, like I'm looking at this and thinking, gee, it sure would be cool if there was a good way for me to do this swap. Such that I would, like, because I can disable both of these enemies at once. And then the problem is I can't start a fire here. I can't use the artillery to get this guy out of the way by pushing downward. And if I come over here, he's not hitting the building, but he is hitting in, well, you know what? That attack only does 3 damage to Adam. I guess we have reset turn. I could reset turn and rebuild that whole sequence so that Adam has a shield, but we actually don't even have to. And this totally works. All right. Pretty clumsy, actually. Pretty clumsy, clumsily executed mission. But no building damage. We got our reactor. We got an Archimedes, who is at 17 experience already. Okay, so we probably want to do the Accord repository next so we can get to the high value mission. Also, air support. Air support can be very, very good. How am I going to manage? Yeah, I guess this is fine. The buildings on this side aren't really available to the Vec on the first round anyway, given, you know, move speeds and everything. Well, except for that asshole. Okay. Right? Seems pretty obvious. We can drop you into the airstrike range as well. I could have sequenced this better, but probably that 1 point of health won't even matter. Let's just go ahead and get rid of this. That's a reasonable start. I forgot it was going to completely level the mountain. Okay, that rules. Very pleased with that. Also that's very cool. All right, is there any reason not to do this thing? I don't think so. This guy's going to die when the airstrike goes off, so I will be tanking a shot here. But, you know, it's fine. Push you to here. Wait, sorry, let me reset. Somehow I moved. I mean, I guess it doesn't matter. I didn't need to reset there. I had intended to fire the artillery shot here, and that's why I wanted to move the bug first so that I wouldn't be pushing it further away from the spawn. But I absolutely could have taken my shot from here. This is definitely better for next turn positioning, though, because now the artillery mech can make it all the way over to that spot. It's pretty solid. This airstrike has been... Y'all, come on. You gotta try a little bit. This is... I am feeling pitied. I'm not, like, complaining that much, but I'm feeling a little pitied. How many Vec did we kill during that mission? That was an absolute bloodbath. Okay, skilled and +1 reactor. That is a hell of a pair of level ups. Yeah, I think I feel pretty good about that. Are we attempting an armored train for the big rewards? Yes, right? It's probably not going to work, though. A lot of the enemies are going to be lower tier, though. Like, this is the time in the game when we're going to see the largest number of normals. Normals will just have their shots bounce right off the train. Yeah, all right, let's go for it. High risk, high reward. Wow, okay, two normals and 3 elites, because fuck you, that's why. I'm concerned. All right. Trying to give the Hornet a couple of directions to focus on us from. If we can get this Hornet to come here and fire upward, well, we can't, so never mind. All right. So what I want to do is this, right? So now this thing's going to... Oh, that's right. It's not quite going to kill that. Well, I mean, that's fine. It doesn't matter. Yeah, because this thing's not doing anything anyway. You're not a problem anymore either. Then I... Ooh, actually, you know what? I did buy that range upgrade, right? I just saw a slightly better thing that I was thinking of doing, and it's going to require me to resequence a little. Because what I want to do is push... So you're going to run over here. That's that dude. We're going to push this thing into the path of the other Firefly. And then we make this move. If I do them in the reverse order, this Hornet gets pushed into the train and kills it, which obviously is not ideal. And honestly, we're doing an okay job of managing our enemies even without putting any real priority on the extra health scion. I do wish that the armored train, like, fired shots or something. This looks so much like a weapon. So, obviously, it would be very easy to just shoot this thing again with the flame mech. I mean, the meteor mech goes here, right? You just get out of the way. Ah, you do this. There we go. And you, I don't know. Just kind of get down here. Get ready to be useful in the future. I suppose it is worth noting that we, with our actual weapons, have very little responsibility for, like, the enemy deaths. They're dying, but we're not killing them. And that's it, right? Because the train will tank off that point of damage. I guess we can do this and get one more kill. All right, sometimes you manage, sometimes you get through a train mission. They're not impossible or anything. It's just that I feel like there's so much... We see things go horribly wrong in ways that we have no control over so much more frequently on those missions. Yeah, let's go for the big stars. I am hopeful that we will be able to maintain power. Honestly, the building setup on this one doesn't look too bad. You have 5 moves. You absolutely could totally make it up there, and you probably will. And I'm probably fine with it. Yeah, I think so. Okay. This doesn't seem like too much of a challenge. Right, like that's a very compelling start, I think. And then the question is, can we do more damage? Because obviously I'd love to be able to kill the scion. I don't know that I can, though. I mean, obviously we have to do this. The fire is not it's not purely positive for us this time, because we do have to be pretty careful about the tanks. If I don't want to try to take down the scion now, I could swap this thing to this space. Well, no, it's not actually going to be helpful. There's, in fact, just not really anything else to do. Okay, well... So what? I can just push this guy to the side here. Run down here. Do some fire. No, that's not going to work. So we also have to save this tank. I was going to say that we could move the Alpha Hornet. I feel like moving the Alpha Hornet down to here is still good. We can accomplish it this way. This thing doesn't actually die. But... Ooh, also, probably good for me to notice at this point that that strategy doesn't actually work very well. I guess if I just shoot this here like this, then when the Alpha Hornet attacks, it'll kill this guy because it'll do 2 of his 3 HP, and then it'll kill this thing, which removes the other point. But that leaves me unable to deal with both of these. We have to pick. I think I might just be taking a building damage. Oh, if I fire right here... No, same problem. Yep, I just kind of have to take a building damage, and I guess we get to pick where. No, wait, what am I talking about? Sorry, this guy's dead. Right, You know what I mean? I'm just proof. There we go. This is a totally functional plan. Oh, right. Sorry, that was only true if... No, I was right. The second of the 4 times, we were setting ourselves up to take 1 damage no matter what. Because I couldn't get the extra 1 damage onto this guy while saving everything. Now the tanks are active, and things are going to be very easy from here. So, let's have you block a spawn. Have you shoot at nothing, because he's going to be dead. Actually, we'll go one further. And then we can set you on fire so you die. when you block. I don't know, maybe I should have let one of these enemies spawn. Just for having more stuff to try to get XP off of. Because I don't know that I'm going to be able to get too much done here. Let's see, we can set it on fire. That way this actually deals damage. And then the question is, can we set up pushes with the tanks that'll cause it to take one so that it dies off of the fire? Yeah, here we go. Okay, managed to get 3 XP out of that. Would have been nice if it had broken down a little bit differently, but I'll take it. And so we go into the boss fight with 6 power, which is not, you know, that's not so bad. Bouncer Leader has armor, which is not a big deal because we're probably going to kill it almost entirely through fire damage anyway. We get very, very little control over our opening positioning here. Okay, so obviously we want to push the Bouncer Leader back a space. Is there any reason that I wouldn't just do that with the Flame Mech? Seems right. So that kills you and does some damage to you. We can disarm this thing by swapping it so far forward it's just firing into the mountain. I guess I did this in a way where I'm taking a point of damage, but it's not a meaningful point of damage, so who cares? Yeah, alright, I'm still going to do it. That's a little bit of a bummer, because this thing doesn't take 1, and neither does the boss from the collision anymore. But I think it's worth it to kill one enemy while setting the spawn space on fire. That's very annoying. So we could step to the side here, shoot there so that this thing is over a bit. The Bouncer Leader is in a position where I can run past it. We can Flame Mech the Alpha Hornet another space over. Yeah, that seems pretty good, right? We could just kind of watch this thing burn to death, honestly. We don't even have to get very fancy with it from here. I do have to prevent it from annihilating a bunch of buildings, I suppose. So you're dead already. You two will just shoot each other, which is funny. Yeah, right? They're going to burn down. Those two will just hit each other. This one will catch on fire even. That's a much better first island. I feel like I sort of shook the rust off here. Yeah, that's a much, much better first island. Leap over any distance, dropping a bomb on each tile you pass. It's one use. We don't have anybody with conservative. Honestly, I don't think it's a great weapon. Once you have the plus damage on it, I guess it's cool. I'm saying, like, even regardless of the fact that we don't have the mech for it, I don't really know that I want Abe. I like our team. We could take this. This feels like a very bad pull here, but I just don't think we're going to make use of this. But you know what, though? We can take this and use it as a star, but we're at 9. So we're going to buy 3 reactors and then use this to buy power anyway. So I guess we take this. I guess there's a... I should have thought about the fact that we might be buying a weapon. And I do think we're buying a weapon. So I would hate to win a run due to rebounding volley again so soon. This thing's pretty great. Yeah, we'll take the Gemini missiles mostly for... I forgot we had an extra pilot, too. So taking the extra item reward and selling it would have led to us getting an extra reactor core, actually, because of the fact that we had the extra pilot who I'd forgotten about. Because I'm dumb, basically. That's fine. We'll just be at 14 grid defense coming out of the first island. Maybe it will actually matter. So we're going to go ahead and throw this on here. Obviously, we will put a reactor into that. And then do I want to put another reactor into it so we have 2 uses? I guess what I will do actually is let's take the +2 range upgrade on the teleporter. We have 1 use of our Gemini missiles. We have +1 range on the flamethrower. That's a pretty great place to be in, and 14% grid defense after the first island. I'm feeling much more optimistic about this run. It's really frustrating to lose because, like, in a way that I know 100% is my fault. Particularly on camera. It feels bad. Okay, that's going to be it for us for today. Thank you all so much for watching. When you come back next time tomorrow, I'm going to try to parlay this opening into an actual victory and try very hard not to just replicate my performance from earlier today. And we'll see you then.